his destiny awaits. He is going to take his 5th win of the year and open up a big points lead with only a doubleheader weekend at Loretta Lynn Ranch to go. Charlie Mullins wins the Amsoil Ironman GNCC. Just one step remains. This is it, folks. We're closing in on the finale of the Can-Am Grand National Cross Country Series. Racer TV bringing you coverage of the doubleheader from Loretta Lynn Ranch, Hurricane Mills. Jason Wygant, of course, your host. We had a bunch of rainouts earlier in the year, so we're going to run a race today, and then we'll run again next week at this event. There's Paul Whibley, one of the few riders with a mathematical shot at stopping that man, Charlie Mullins, from taking his first GNCC title. And don't forget Josh Strang, who won last year's championship, still has a shot at it as well. They need some bad luck. But this is a course that can breed that. 12 miles, we'll race for 3 hours, of course, and we should do 6 laps in that allotted distance. A couple of guest stars on hand today. This is Cody Webb, your AMA Trials champion. We'll see how he does on the big bike today. Also, Toby Price here from Australia, auditioning maybe to get a ride here next year. Caleb Russell won a race in this series a few weeks ago, would like another. This man, Thad Duvall, needs a win, hoping to secure a ride for next year. But that man, Charlie Mullins, is the man of the hour as Josh Strang tries to defend his #1 plate. He and Whibley need to finish in front of Mullins to have any chance of staving off the championship celebration. So it's time to march out the age-old cliche, it's racing, and anything can happen. We do know included in the anything should be a great battle for the win today. Let's get to the start and get racing. Good jump out of the hole by Whibley on the Am-Pro Yamaha. Going to control it on the blue bike. And he and Strang come together. Strang hits the deck. Jedediah Haynes, who has been stealing a bunch of these $250 motorsport.com hole shot awards, has the early lead. I think that was Jimmy Jarrett on the 44 Geico Honda right next to him. And they're going to race across that creek bed. Now across some rocks. There's Strang picking himself up. I mentioned rocks, there's gravel all over this course. Go down to the first turn, that's gotta hurt. Suzuki slow motion replay. This is Strang with the helmet cam, and watch this. Whibley gets sideways, they tangle, and he goes down, and look at all those rocks. You hit those things elbow first, and you're gonna be hurting all day long. So how about the privateer, Jedediah Haynes, a kid out of Fairfield, Pennsylvania, leading and opening it up a bit with Jarrett and I believe Corey Buttrick in tow. Looking for Whibley. He just went around that hay bale, so Whibley, with that collision with Strang, has lost some time. We go back to the start for our XC2 division for the 250 bikes. Riders trying to not have the same fate as Strang, although a rider on the outside goes down. And that opens the door, a hole shot to the Frenchman, Ramon Demontier, in his first ever GNCC. Wheelies across the creek, takes a face full of water anyway. Demontier, riding with the tutelage of Jason Raines, will be running a team in this XC2 class next year with the help of Obermeyer Yamaha. Good to see Raines back involved in the series, and good to see his man out front. Mullins has gone to the #1 spot in XC1, and behind him, that was Caleb Russell, who goes down, and Russell still picking up the bike, losing a lot of ground. And you know things are going your way if you're Charlie Mullins and the 3 riders that have been able to win races this year. We're talking about Strang, Whibley, and Russell have all had problems early in this one while you get out front and pull away. There is Russell. Look at how much ground he lost. As always, the camera is deceiving with how steep the hill climbs are out here. Plus, a little bit of a curveball thrown the riders' way with this double header. We're going to race bikes today, then we'll race ATVs, and then the bikes come back again. Usually, the bikes race after the ATVs, so the course is well defined and they know where the lines are. Here you can see in some sections, like that hill, still a lot of leaves covering the ground. Hard to figure out exactly where the traction is. Lots of battles to watch out there. That was Price, the Australian, in front of Strang, who was working his way up from that crash. And he has got to be hurting, like I said, landing elbow first. And then Russell comes by at the very back of the field as Mullins, look at that. Perfect technique through there on the pegs, keeping the corner speed up, has his teammate Buttrick in tow. Haynes still running up front. There is Webb, your trials champ, and now Whibley making up for lost ground for that collision in turn 1. His teammate Duval right behind him. There is Price, the Australian again, Nate Canny, and Strang hooking up in a battle. And everything rolling again for Mullins. He has been so strong the last couple of rounds. He's won every race except for one second-place finish in a race since the summer break. Buttrick, meanwhile, has had an up-and-down season. So has Jarrett here in third. So the only one able to master the consistency in a game that seems to breed inconsistency is Mullins. And a perfect example here as you see Strang getting desperate, trying to make passes after that first turn crash, and it is not paying off for him. We'll see how far up through the pack he can go when we return. Time for pit stops here, and no trouble at all for the FMF KTM team. As we welcome you back to Racer TV's coverage of the Can-Am Grand National Cross Country Series. That man riding away on the 112. Charlie Mullins is your series points leader and your leader of the race. And there's a big gap back to his teammate, Corey Buttrick, who's running second. So if you're the KTM squad, you could not be more thrilled over what you're seeing unfold today. Now, Buttrick, by the way, is riding the new generation KTM 450, has a very similar engine design to the one they're testing for Supercross racing with Ryan Dungey. That's a fuel-injected bike. Actually, Mullins is riding the old-school bike with the carburetor. Obviously, it works for him. The Yamaha boys are in the pits right now. Whibley, they are working on something. Looks like the shift lever area, the left side of the bike. His teammate Thad Duval has already gone through. Duval has had some good races as of late, but I don't know if anyone is going to be able to overcome the kind of gap that Mullins has built up early in this one. It's check out Charlie time, and it's so hard to do that in a GNCC race, especially when you throw in all these obstacles, the endurance factor of a 3-hour race, and later on they will hit some lap traffic. You can generally count on something going wrong at some point, but this year, Mullins has definitely had the luck on his side. This guy has not. Josh Strang, who has fought his way all the way up to third, but it just seems like this season he cannot get the momentum rolling. A big change from last year. 2010 was a season of destiny for Josh Strang, and the 22-year-old Australian was battling Charlie Mullins for the championship points lead, and he went on a roll in the second half of the year in much the way Mullins has done this year. This is a kid that came over from Australia with literally nothing, no paycheck, no vehicle, crashed at other riders' houses, built his game up until eventually he had won the championship. But this year, he has been beset by all sorts of bad luck. We had a chance to talk to him about that.
Yeah, since coming back from the summer break, we had Unadilla first up, and I was feeling pretty good. I had a good summer and that sort of stuff, and first 2 miles I think I ended up jumping on top of Corey, so it kind of started there, and like that one, got the bike fixed and lost 2 laps. I mean, the points were still close, which was good, and then we went to the next race. I was feeling good again, and I think I got to the last lap, and then the troubles just started coming, and I crushed the brake pedals, and so the brake wouldn't work, and then I got going again, and on the last lap I ran over a lapper and crashed, just little things like that. So yeah, it wasn't what I wanted, and after that, the next race I just had another silly little crash and then stuck in the mud. That's normal racing, and then finally the last one was the one that capped it all off. I lost a foot peg bolt on the first lap, so it just kept going down. I guess the wheels started falling off after Unadilla.
That's the way it goes in this game. These are some of the fittest, toughest athletes on the planet to be able to deal with all the adversity, and the machines have to be tuned to perfection as well. Corey Buttrick, last year the kid was on fire as a rookie. This year has just not found the combination. Today looks like a breakthrough day for him. There's Strang and Whibley. They have been through the ups and downs the last couple of years. But as for Mullins, he turned pro back in 2006, and ever since then he has been at the top of the list of championship contenders. It's not like he has not dealt with adversity at times as well. This championship, if he can get it today, will be well-deserved. For anyone to go out and ride strong in 13 3-hour races during the course of a year, through all types of weather, through any type of track condition imaginable, you've got to give him credit. Rider to watch right there on the Yamaha going by in the blue is Jordan Ashburn. He is leading that XC2 class, and even though he's on a 250 compared to these front runners on 450s, on adjusted time, he is up there in the overall. And now we see a battle brewing for second. Buttrick and Strang and Whibley are all on top of each other and deep into lap traffic. Will the lap traffic slow Mullins enough for those three to catch him? Or is the dream ride is going to last all the way to the finish of this one? Low drama right now for Mullins, and that's exactly the way you want it. You could tell by the demeanor that Strang had in that interview. He doesn't feel like he has a shot at it anymore. It is basically Mullins' championship to win or lose, and right now he's looking at a win. Charlie Mullins continuing on the ride that dreams are made of, and it's the American dream. The Ohio-born Mullins could become the first champion of this Grand National Cross Country Series to reign from the U.S. since 2004. This guy, Paul Whibley, right here, won the title in 09. He is from New Zealand. Last year's champ, Josh Strang, is from Australia. We had the domination of Juha Salminen from Finland for 2 years, and also David Knight from the Isle of Man over in Europe for 2 years as well. So it has been a long time since an American has won this title. Behind Mullins, you can see the battle is really brewing. Here is Mullins, your leader. But you've got Whibley, Strang, Corey Buttrick, and Caleb Russell has re-caught this group. There's some of the dangers on the track with lap riders down. We want to remind everyone that it's not just these XC1 and XC2 pro classes out here. A lot of amateurs race this series as well. They might not be trained to the teeth like these pro riders. Late in the race, they get tired, they make mistakes, and these boys have to deal with it. Anyone's race for that number 2 position, but Mullins has nearly a minute lead at this point, and he's just keeping the head down. Now, in years past, people have said that Mullins wasn't mentally tough enough to win this championship, that the pressure would get to him. But what can you say about the way he has ridden the second half of this year and the way he has ridden today with the championship hanging in the balance? He has done everything right. These guys are pushing themselves to the max, and they still can't keep pace. See Whibley going by, then Buttrick, now Russell and Strang continuing to look for different lines, hoping to find running room. As you watch Mullins continue to roll, his team manager, Antti Callanen, says they kind of kidnapped him, brought him out to California with them over the summer. They did more testing on the bike, kept his nose to the grindstone, kept him focused, and that's why the pressure has not affected him like it has in years past. There's Whibley in second, Buttrick, Russell, and Strang. So Whibley has gotten the better of this group and has begun to distance himself from them. And apparently, yes, he did have a bent shift lever as a result of that collision with Strang in the first turn. So now that Whibley's bike is all functioning the way it's supposed to, maybe he has a shot at running Mullins down. There's no doubt about it. Whibley is as tough as they come. He will not give up. He has the endurance late in these races. He might have a chance. Now you've got the 2 young KTM riders and Strang hooked up in a battle for third. But I'm going to say, if anyone can put a challenge to Mullins, it's going to be Whibley on this racetrack, because the guy, he doesn't care where the points are. He doesn't care where he is on the track. He's just going to go as fast as he can at all times. Nice job by Buttrick holding off Russell and Strang. Those two came from a long way back after crashes in the first lap, but once they have caught Corey B, they have not been able to get around him. Mullins just continues to set sail. There is Whibley, and he is now matching the split times in each section of Mullins. But the problem is he's over a minute behind, so he's going to need a mistake in order to make up any distance. But again, mistakes, it happens all the time on these tracks. So Whibley's just going to keep charging, keep pushing. And if you get to the point where you can see the guy, wait a minute, there's the mistake we're talking about. Mullins has gone down, and they're trying to get the bike started. Not sure what has happened there. Not able to get the bike running. We'll hook back up with the battle between Buttrick, Russell, and Strang for third. And Mullins is still there, and look at the body language. They're done. The bike's not running, and they can't get it started. He's taking his helmet off. It's over. Huge shakeup. It has happened out here at Loretta Lynn Ranch. Welcome back to Racer TV's coverage of this next to last round of the Can-Am Grand National Cross Country Series. And this man's determination has paid off. Paul Whibley has come back from a bent shift lever on lap 1 to take the lead here on the last lap, but only because Charlie Mullins' engine has run into trouble. We believe something in the head is what we have heard from the KTM team. He is out of this race, and that has huge ramifications on the championship because Whibley was second in the series coming in. He will make up a whole bunch of points today. He will not go into the lead, but he will be close enough to have a shot at it heading into our series finale, which will be coming up on Racer TV in a few weeks. Meanwhile, battle is on. Corey Buttrick, Caleb Russell, and Josh Strang are tussling here. 3 riders fighting for the 2 remaining podium positions, and Russell is really charging, trying to make some ground back up. But Paul Whibley doing what he does. He doesn't give up. He doesn't get tired. He keeps his head down and keeps going as hard as he can, and he was able to take advantage of an incredible stroke of luck. All we were doing was talking about how things have gone Mullins' way, and finally, the type of problem that has led to Strang's undoing this year. Now, they have gotten the bike fixed, and he's gotten back into the race. That might give Mullins a chance to score a few points today. He's currently clocked in the number 14 position. Should lose a lap or two with the bike repairs. But those points for finishing 14th could loom large as we head toward our series finale. I cannot believe what has happened. And if you're Whibley, you don't know what has gone wrong with Mullins. You do know something has gone wrong, and that's all that matters. Paul Whibley, by winning today, is going to keep himself in contention for this championship as we head into the final round of the series. A job well done for the 32-year-old veteran out of New Zealand. I'll tell you what, this guy won the title in 09. They ran into some troubles as he switched over to the Yamaha last year. But in 2011, he has been strong, and when it's Whibley's day, it has been Whibley's day. He's had a couple of bad ones, but there have been other races where he has been hard to stop. And had he not run into the shifter problems at the beginning, he might have actually been able to give Mullins a run for the win straight up. The rest of these boys battling. Buttrick leading Strang through the motocross track here at the end. And I don't know if that's a cheerleader or someone that just wants to get on TV there on the right side. But if you're wearing a blue shirt like he is, you've got to be happy because the Yamaha man is going to win this one. Paul Whibley, big difference, big difference. It looked like it was going to be a KTM race win, a KTM championship celebration. But the Ampro Yamaha team, Randy Hawkins and everyone over there, they've got to be happy. Their man, Paul Whibley, is still in this, and he wins here at Loretta Lynn Ranch. Battle for second, going to go right down to the wire. Corey Buttrick, his best race of the year, I'd say, on that new 450, making it work. He finishes in second, and that's valuable points that he will steal away from Strang. Strang also still has a mathematical shot at it, so it was good for Buttrick to get in there and protect points for his teammate Mullins. Here are the results. Russell, a close but disappointing 4th. Bobbitt, a nice job. Your Enduro champ finishes top 5. Let's go to Krista Shaw with the winner.
Paul Whibley taking the win here today at Loretta Lynn's. Paul, it was a pretty crazy race out there today. Tell us how it went as a whole.
It went not too bad. Actually, come together with Josh in the first turn and bent my shifter, and I was having problems changing gears the first couple of laps. And then at the fuel stop, they straightened that out for me, and managed to kind of find a good groove and kind of work my way through to the front, through behind to second behind Charlie. Then unfortunately for him, he had some bike problems, and so inherited the lead. And then I guess it makes the points chase for the championship a little tighter now. So I guess it will come down to tomorrow's race, and it's a big exciting day.
And you see the impact it has on the points. Mullins did get the bike fixed, finished 14th, and that's why he still has a 20-some point lead over Whibley heading into the finale. To give you your Can-Am race recap, Jedediah Haynes led them through the first water crossing. with a hole shot. Josh Strang and Paul Whibley tangled. They were way back. Caleb Russell went down. Looked like Charlie Mullins' day until that. Bike problems. And that would open the door for Whibley's come-from-behind charge. Left behind a great battle between Buttrick, Russell, and Strang for second, third, and fourth. Buttrick could hold those boys off to take the number 2 spot ahead of Strang. But no stopping Whibley down the stretch. In XC2, Jordan Ashburn rode very well to take the win, but the championship in that division is going to go to Stuart Baylor. As for the championship in XC1, still up for grabs. Whibley's clutch victory keeps him within mathematical contention, as Mullins leaves this one absolutely heartbroken. Stay with us each week for the finale. I'm Jason Wygant for Krista Shaw. Thanks for watching.